I'm Dave Schempf, and this is my podcast. It's all about softball. It's called Dave's Dugout. As you can see, my sign reversed behind me. It's reversed because I've got to figure out how to straighten that out because it doesn't go off the computer. Anyway, I just wanted to let you know that this is nothing but softball. We don't talk politics, religion, or anything that's controversial. Softball can be controversial enough. Okay? So, and also, I have a mug that I always sell. It costs $10. I make $5 profit off of it. It's called Dave's Dugout. And for anybody who shows up to be interviewed here, gets a free one. So, Mike, you get a free one.
What a deal.
Yeah, what a deal, huh? So, today we're going to talk with Mike Baker. Mike Baker left Michigan a few years ago, and he moved to Alabama. I don't know why. I have no idea, because this is the most beautiful state in the country, in my opinion. But, if he wanted to go where it was warm, probably in the wintertime, that's what he wanted.
It doesn't snow down there, Dave.
It doesn't snow. Well,
Rarely.
The old saying goes for Michiganders, if you're going to move south, you move until somebody doesn't recognize a snow shovel, and then you stop. Okay? So he went further than he needed to, really. But
yep.
He's down by Mobile, Alabama, right?
South of Mobile.
Oh, south of Mobile.
I'm 8 miles from the Gulf.
Oh, he's 8 miles from the Gulf. I'm sorry. He's
deep south.
Very wealthy. Anyway, Mike, good seeing you again.
Good seeing you,
Mike's
Dave.
up here. Mike is up here for a tournament. For those of you who are softball enthusiasts and enjoy fast pitch softball, there is it's called the Schwab tournament. Is it still the Schwab?
It's something else. The beer line something.
Maybe the beer line tournament now, and it takes place in Frankenmuth. Okay, and it takes place this weekend. They have a couple games tomorrow night and Friday, and then they have a full round of games. Yep, the Schaefer beer line
tournament.
Yep, that's a car dealership. So anyway, there's a round of games tomorrow, probably 7 or 8 games if you want to take those in, and then there's Sunday is the finish of the tournament. So if you enjoy fast pitch softball, and I know there's some guys on here who tune into this podcast, and now you'll know. So I know Big Tony will probably be there if he can. So there it is. There's the tournament, and that's what Mike comes up here for, because there isn't any fast pitch softball in Alabama. In fact, there isn't any fast pitch softball, I don't think, in the entire South.
Not anything worth.
Not that isn't women's. I mean, J.O. ball.
There's no men's fast pitch at all.
I didn't think so. Yeah. So it's either up here and somewhere in the Midwest or nowhere that I know of, or California.
1,100 miles of driving for 2 days of softball.
Ooh, 1,100 miles of driving for 2 weeks of softball.
2 days.
2 days of softball. But he's got family in Louisville that he goes to visit right near the Derby. And then he's got other family.
Softball family he visits. Yep.
For those who are either umpires or players, or probably coaches, you know what softball family means. It's a family that stays with you forever whenever you got involved in softball. So that is the introduction for Mike Baker for me right now.
Do I get to leave now?
No.
Okay. Nice
try. It's a little bit warm in here because I don't have air in here, but we got a fan going. And so it says it's only 79 out, but it sure feels like about 89 out there.
This is nothing, Dave. You
I'm
live
sure
down
it is.
south, and you're putting on a blanket when you walk outside of humidity. So this is wonderful, wonderful weather.
Okay, so when you start, Mike?
1993.
93. Okay.
June of 93 in Maysville, Kentucky.
Maysville, Kentucky. Okay.
Yep.
Are you a Kentuckian?
Here's the silly thing about it. I only lived there for like 11 years.
Okay.
Yeah, I only lived there for like 11 years, but I consider Kentucky home. Whenever I drive across the bridge going into Kentucky, it's like I'm home.
Yep.
I lived the longest here in Michigan, 26 years.
Sure.
But I always consider Kentucky.
Well, yeah, you're old Kentucky home.
Yep.
As they sing.
Well, and I launched the Louisville, so the USS Louisville.
Oh, the USS Louisville.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Mike was in the Navy, and he. I didn't know that.
You didn't know I was in the Navy?
No, I knew you were in the Navy, but I didn't know you launched a ship.
Yeah, I launched the USS Louisville, and I cheer for Kentucky
Is it still
in basketball.
Is it still floating?
No.
So
No,
did you do something with that?
I
You poke a hole in it with a champagne bottle?
No, but I was the first one on it. I'm a plank owner on the Louisville.
Oh, nice.
So
that's
one of these
nice.
days I'll remember bringing you a little thing for it.
I think you showed me one.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty neat. It's a little sliver of the plank.
Yeah.
Did you know the Constitution, people who go on there, they get a little sliver. You can buy a little sliver of the Constitution.
Really?
USS Constitution in Boston.
I did not know
you can purchase a sliver of the actual deck.
I've been on there, but I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was on it too.
But years ago.
Yeah. But they didn't have that then.
Well, I actually
make
have
money, you know.
I've got a plaque with the keel block, the block that the submarine was on. There was only 114 of us, so the block's only 2 by 3 inches. So they were able to cut it all up, so everybody got a piece of it.
Well, that's neat. Yeah. Yep. He was on a submarine, by the way. I've got a couple of friends that were on submarines. So Greg Simmons, he was on a submarine. And for the life of me, I can't think of the other person, but that's what happens when you turn 80.
Have them phone in.
Have them phone in, yes. Speaking of that, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
My toll-free number, by the way, is 833-7-DUGOUT. 833-7-DUGOUT. So if you want to call in and ask Mike a couple questions or make some comments that are nice, you can do that. I will answer the phone. So I'll get my phone out now just in case, but it's 833-7-DUGOUT. So remember that. And please call if you get a chance, and we'll talk softball, rules, maybe a crazy play, maybe a funny story, anything like that. So
I've got plenty of those.
We've got plenty of them. Yes, we do. We always have plenty of funny stories. So you started 33 years ago, and how did you start?
A lazy umpire. I was coaching a co-ed team. I worked at a paper mill as a contractor, and I'm the one that got the softball team up. So,
okay.
And we had a co-ed softball team, and this umpire, I won't mention his name.
That's good.
But I give him the nod because if it wasn't for him being lazy, I wouldn't be an umpire.
Oh, there you go.
I complained to the park director about it, and the park director said to me what I say to everybody now. When I said, you need to do something, and he said, we're hiring.
Yeah.
And so I say the same
thing. That's what usually told the people.
Yep. And I went out the next night, and I stood right next to him as he's calling balls and strikes, and he's explaining things. And he said, what do you think? And I said, yeah, I'm interested in doing it. And he gave me the test, the ASA test. I took that open book test, easy test, and it's a great test. And then started umpiring slow pitch softball and loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Okay, that's great.
Love fast pitch too, but yes. I love fast pitch more.
Yeah, he likes it gets in your blood.
Yes, it does.
And for those softball slow pitch umpires, more power to you, because I tried it a couple of times and I found out it is not as easy as it looks, especially on the bases. When you got 70-foot bases, you're out there in the outfield, and now you got to button hook in or get into the diamond, and sometimes take that runner to third base from first base. If you got a partner that calls you off, that's nicer. But if he doesn't, now you got to go all the way to first base. That's about half of a football field. It feels like a whole football field, but it's about a half. Am I right?
I won't do slow pitch if I have to have a partner.
Well, you'd rather do it by yourself.
I'd rather do single man umpire.
Well, yeah, you don't have to run as much.
Well, no, you're running. No, because I'm not that lazy umpire. I'm out.
Well, you're still not running like that.
Yeah, but I just hate the whole base umpire that doesn't go past second base.
Oh, yeah, I hear you there.
Well, yeah. It's nothing like fast pitch softball.
Yep.
So if you want to be an umpire, become a fast pitch umpire.
Yes.
A lot more
and
fun.
Especially if you want to get into the fast pitch part of the game, by all means, get involved in the Federation ball, high school ball, and get involved, do your lower level of ball, your JV, middle school or whatever, and work yourself up to varsity. It shouldn't take you too long if you're really dedicated, and you'll enjoy it. Believe me, it's one of the most fun games umpire that you'll ever have in your life. Okay.
I started out slow pitch ball, and then when we moved to Michigan, I started doing little league ball because they needed little league umpires. So I worked my way from slow pitch to little league ball, baseball and softball. Going into, I did slow pitch in Portage, and then Kevin Hahn and Mike Almack got me involved in fast pitch ball.
Nice.
So, and then I worked my way from there into high school ball, and my high school buddies were like, you should be doing. Well, it just progressed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. When you work hard at your mechanics and your rule book knowledge and all those kind of things that make yourself a better umpire, you can move up the ladder pretty quickly. As long as you do what's been told to you to do. Okay. Now, I know Mike said earlier, well, we've got games for you or something like we're hiring. They also used to have a comment, and I used to use it too. And I used to say to people that maybe behind the backstop, some guy or something, I would say, I got uniforms that fit you.
yeah,
So that usually maybe quiets them down a little bit, but usually it gets laughs. So that's what I'm after.
I did that at a game one time. I was fully dressed out in all my plate gear. I turned it around and looked at the crowd, and I mask and indicator in
Yep.
one hand, and I looked at him. I said, "Would anybody else like to do this? I got the best seat in the house. I don't have to look behind chain link or fencing. I get to play ball with your kids. Anybody else want to do it?" And they were like, no, we're good. And I said, then you guys won't complain about my calls. They chuckled, and we had a great time.
You got to have a little, sometimes, they always tell you, don't talk to the fans, don't do this. But you know what? Between innings, build a little rapport with the fans. If you don't want to do that as an umpire, fine, don't do it. But I find out when you build a little rapport with a fan, tell a few things that may be kind of humorous, like Mike was just talking about, it helps. And then if they were on your case, maybe they'll back off. And if they were thinking about getting on your case, it probably won't make any difference. But anyway.
But the way I look at it is you and we're ambassadors to the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if we're a pain, then the people aren't going to enjoy it. But
No.
if the people see that we're personable, we're approachable, then they're going to like it. Now,
good comments.
You get the ones that don't like that.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's,
Yep.
you can shut them down,
Yeah,
or just forget, don't even listen
No,
to
yeah,
them. But
put your earplugs in.
I look at it as we're ambassadors to the game.
Sure, absolutely we are. We are absolute ambassadors. And you coaches, don't forget you're an ambassador to the game too.
Absolutely.
Okay? You're an ambassador too. It's how you carry yourself on the field or off the field that says a lot, not only about yourself, but about your team also. Okay, we have both seen, we've seen very few meatheads coaches, and by far more very personable, nice coaches. So
that's true.
Just so you know. And as far as when it comes to players, you can't beat JO girls and high school girls.
Yep,
can't beat them. And they put out on the field like you can't believe. They go full force. They'll dive into a brick wall to catch a ball. And I've actually seen almost one do that. So yeah, they will just put everything into a game.
I usually say that I'll see an ESPN quality play, an ESPN top 10 play at least once a week.
Yeah.
Where they're making a diving catch or they're making some awesome play.
Yep, absolutely. So. And as far as the men, who play softball, obviously, not going to disparage you because I know how much you mean to the game also, and we need you also. So by all means, we love all aspects of the game. So enough about all that. Okay, I'm going to say goodbye. No. So I know you did some college ball.
Yes.
When did you start that?
Gosh, I got to think. It's probably been 15 years. And Ron Welsh.
Oh, yeah. We just seen him today.
Yeah. Well, Ron Welsh introduced me to it. I said that I was interested in doing it. And some of my buddies like Kevin Hahn and Mike Almack and those guys,
sure.
They were like, you should do JO ball. And first time I met Ron Welsh was at Kalamazoo Valley Community College. I was working a doubleheader with Linda Hoover. And the absolute worst thing that you can say to me before you start a game, after you introduce yourself, is, I'm Ron Welsh, and I'm going to be your evaluator today. Tell me you're going to evaluate me, or tell me that you evaluated me afterwards. Don't tell me beforehand, because I'm going to overthink everything. And that's,
as an umpire, you really don't want to be told ahead of time that you're going to be evaluated. Now, as Mike knows, I was an umpire in chief of many, many tournaments, many JO tournaments, and I was an evaluator for a long time. I probably wrote 1,000 or more evaluations, and that's not an exaggeration. So I don't like to tell somebody ahead of time that, but usually if they go to a meeting, they know who the evaluator is. But in this case, he didn't. So.
But we knew that, like going into the JO tournament up in Mount Pleasant, we always knew you were UIC or the different UICs that were on the field. So we're out there looking for you guys. We're looking for you.
Believe me, I knew.
Yeah, yeah. But
I don't know if you knew this or not, but over at Island Park, where I usually was, I used to walk around behind the restrooms there.
Yeah.
And then I would sneak back out and peek around the corner to see if somebody was doing their job right on that one time that I could visualize.
And the funny thing is we thought we knew where you guys were until the end, and then you're evaluating us and you're saying, well, what about this play? And it's like, how did you even see that? So yeah, they're sneaky. They're sneaky like ninjas. But the advice or the criticism that they gave you was always, it was never to knock you down. It was always to build you up and make you a better umpire. And I'd say that I'm a better umpire because.
And that's what evaluators are for. They're not there to disparage you or to criticize you and make you feel about as low as you can go. No, they're to lift you up and make you a better umpire with a few tips and concerns that they have. So it's always good to know. All right.
I had Jim Craig as an evaluator one time.
Oh, yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Well, I've had him more than once.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I've had him more than once too. But yeah, Jim Craig was a good one.
Yeah, he's a good one. I had him at least 8 times that I know of, maybe 9. Mm-hmm. And he was a good one. Jack Sauter was one of my first evaluators, and he gave me a tip that I'll never forget to this day. And he'll be a good umpire if he brings his voice up a bit. And I told myself from that point on, he's going to be able to hear me from now on. So that's a good tip that I needed to hear. Okay. And it was early on in my career. So.
Well, Brian Smith used to tell me that he could drive a truck in between me and the catcher. So it got me moving up closer to the slot.
Closer. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, you pick up things. And I mean, it's just at this point now, anything is booger picking stuff.
Yeah.
It's just
little
nicky neck.
But you know what? You need those little times when sometimes you start slipping a little bit into the ditch, and then somebody needs to say, hey, look, you're doing this and this, and I've never seen you do that before. And all of a sudden you go, you know what? I think he's right, or I think she's right. And so it helps.
Well, that's the problem with going from college ball in the springtime, college ball and NFHS into
flip-flopping
ASA ball or USA ball, because now you're doing college mechanics when you're not supposed to be doing them. And you find out real quick you should be button hooking instead of rimming. Yep.
There's some things. There's some mechanics in college ball that are different than USA softball or some of the other organizations. By the way, when I say I talk softball, I don't just talk NCAA. We talk Federation, NSA, UTRIP. I talk about any organization out there. Okay, I'm affiliated with USA softball, and this podcast isn't, but. That's my true one blue heart, but I'll talk about any affiliation. It's fine with me. It's softball.
I can't wear red though.
I know the red is tough to wear, but
I just can't wear red.
It's your color, so.
But if you're doing it, good for you.
Yeah, exactly. I know I don't have to worry about saying, hey red. So it's hey blue. But anyway, you got to have some good stories. Right?
Oh, yes.
I've
got some wonderful stories.
Let's hear at least a few.
This was probably one of my favorite stories. It was a controversial one. I had a quarterfinal. I think that's what it was. High school, Michigan. It was Howell versus Mattawan High School, and it was the bottom of the 10th inning, a 1-1 ball game. Bases were loaded, and there was 1 out, and I was the plate umpire.
Of course, you went 10 innings.
Yeah. You're a funny guy. He'll tell you this one in a minute.
Yeah, but go ahead.
Don't believe what he says. But the girl gets up and hits the ball out to left center field, and I yelled out to my partner, I have the tag up on third. And ball goes out left center, and before the player touched the ball, the girl on third base was 2 steps off of it. Okay. And I saw it.
Sure.
But she comes running in home, and the catcher was up the line, and the runner had to divert her path to get around the catcher. So now I've got obstruction.
Sure.
And obstruction's going to rule. You tell somebody until it gets overruled.
Yes.
Person catches the ball. They throw the ball in. Wasn't even close. run score. I said, that's obstruction, run scores. Pandemonium. The entire Howell team was out on the mound in a big body pile. I had the Madawan coach telling me that I did not make the correct call numerous times. And of course, and I absolutely love her. I'm not going to mention her name, but I absolutely love her. One of my favorite high school coaches. And of course, in my head, I'm sitting there going, ask me another question.
Yeah.
Ask me another question.
Yeah.
But she wouldn't.
You know, the thing is, the appeal now of the runner leaving third base early is still on. It's going to erase that run if they appeal properly. If you don't appeal, guess what just happened? Okay, am I right?
Yep. She was more concerned about the obstruction, saying that the runner wasn't obstructed. Well, when she finally turned around and walked away, I turned around to the fence, and my softball partner was there. And he said, they're appealing on the field. And I turned around and I looked and I said, nobody's talking to me about it.
Yep.
And it's my call. Well, the assistant coach was out talking to my partner that was out by third base.
So he can bring it to your attention.
Should have brought it to my attention.
Should have. Exactly.
Well, next thing I know.
But the way he told it to you doesn't make it official.
Well, the assistant coach turned around and ran off. So we go in. As soon as we stepped a foot in the dugout, I looked at him and I said, what exactly did she say to you?
Yeah.
And she said, did you see her leave early? And he said, no.
First of all, how many runners were on?
It was loaded. Bases were loaded.
Okay. Did you see her leave early?
Yeah.
Okay.
You meant the
Which one?
Third.
Which one? And you're not allowed. I'm not going to say, well, which runner are you talking about? I might look at him like, and then maybe finally I'll say, well, which runner are you talking about? Just by saying, did you see the runner leave early means nothing when you got multiple runners on. Okay. You got to designate what runner and what you're appealing. Don't forget, you also got to designate what you're appealing.
Now, I'm going to throw my partner under the bus on this one.
Okay.
Because
the one you were working with.
The one I was working with. Not you, Dave. I like you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
What he should have told her was that that's not his call.
Right.
That's the plate umpire's call.
Yeah.
He should have told her that. But I'm also going to put it on the coach too. And coaches, you need to know this. It's incumbent upon you that if you don't get the right answer, if you don't, if you're not happy with that answer, ask politely to have them talk to their partner.
Sure.
And I'm sure he would have said, sure, go talk to him. Somebody said, well, what would you have done if they came and asked me, appealed the runner leaving early? I would have said, runners out. Let's start the 11th inning. Yep. What you would have liked, Dave, because I like going extra innings.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, Dave, tell the extra innings story.
We're not going to wind this back a little bit. Now, what is an appeal play? I'm going to put you on the hook a little bit.
Oh, Dave, don't do that to me.
It's a timing play, right?
Well, in this case, it was.
Yes,
yeah.
It's a timing play.
Yeah.
So there was obstruction.
Mm-hmm.
Obstruction takes precedence. So now we have obstruction, and now we have the runner scoring. So now they're going to appeal.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to be a third out appeal.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
So remember that. Timing play, but in this case, it's a third out appeal. Now, let's just say the coach would have said to the base umpire, I think a runner left early. And let's say she says, I think it was the first base runner. Now it's his call. Okay? Now it's his call. Not his call anymore. Now it's his call. All right? So, but he didn't say that. All she said was, I think somebody left early.
Well, did you see the runner leave early?
Or something like that.
The intent was, did the third baseman or did the runner?
Well, I see. She was asking him if he saw her.
He was standing right there. Yeah.
Well, okay.
But yeah, it's and Hal ended up going into the next level of tournament play, and lost their game. Madawan probably would have gone even further.
Yeah, Madawan had a good team.
But then I also have to say is you don't go 10 innings 1-1. It's not the umpire's fault that you're not scoring runs. We've got
an award called "You Got to Be S and Me," and we've talked.
This up.
I'm going to bring it up. You said to. So anyway,
well, you're the one that. Go ahead.
I'm the UIC of the men's state fast tournament. I think it was a C, was it not? It doesn't matter. It was a men's state fast tournament, fast pitch in Midland at the Redcoat Stymons, and Mike was working with Ray Benaway. I can say
good umpire,
very good umpire, and
Ray had
the plate. Mike was on the bases.
Game started at 7.
And it took how long?
199 minutes.
199 minutes.
3 hours
And
and
I
19 minutes.
was watching most of it because there was only 2 games going at that time. And
Ours was the most exciting.
yeah, it was exciting, all right. If you can stay awake, it was exciting.
I think we only ejected one player.
Well, that wasn't bad. So now the second game.
Oh, wait a minute. Give them time. So it's 20 minutes after 10 o'clock at
Oh,
night
yes, 20 after 10.
that we got off the field.
And now they've got to change.
20-minute change. So now it's 10:40 when we start the second game. That should
Okay.
have been going off at 9 o'clock.
Yes. So now we're about a good hour and a half, almost 2 hours behind. So now Mike's going to take the plate because he goes from base to plate. The person who was on the plate takes the next game off. So he's on the plate, and it takes how long?
It wasn't long at all, Dave. Maybe
It was
maybe
2 hours.
2.5 hours.
2.5 hours, or as I call that, 2-hour high tower for Lamar Hightower. God bless your heart, Lamar. If you're watching this, you know you've heard that one before.
And if you're watching it, call in and dispute that.
So anyway, so
it's like
now when it got all over,
after 1 o'clock.
now
in
it's
the
after
morning.
1 o'clock, and I said, "What in the heck is going on?" And I don't.
And how did you penalize me?
Yeah, and
I had
well,
the first game the next.
yeah, well, I
that
didn't.
morning.
I didn't really
I
realize
know
that,
you
but I
didn't.
already had the schedule made out,
I know.
and so not knowing that he was going to take almost 6 hours to do 2 games. I mean, my goodness, this isn't Major League Baseball. This is softball. Okay, so now there's an award to be given out, and like I said, what it is, and it's usually you do something that
Noteworthy.
noteworthy, and it doesn't have any criteria, by the way, and it's sometimes related to softball. And in this case, I gave the award. I had the award, and I'm the 4-time owner of it.
Only one.
I decided to give it to Mike, and he says, "Why do I get it?" I says, "Because you are the common denominator here." He's, well, Ray Benaway had the 3-hour and 19-minute game. I said, "But you also were a part of that, and you were part of the 2-hour and a half game."
And Ray was also. We should have shared that award.
No, Ray was not.
was.
Ray was not
We
working with you.
absolutely was.
You sure about
Ray
that?
Benaway, if you're around, give me a phone call right now. I promise you. Ray Benaway was my play.
Well,
He was my base because our game took so long. The guy that was
we're
supposed
having an
to,
argument here.
the guy that was our game was so long that we couldn't swap the other umpire in. So Ray had
Maybe that's why they probably had to go to bed. My God, it was
good UIC.
Yeah, good UIC, all right. So anyway, so he was a common denominator. I'm sorry, but he was, because he had a second job to do, was to get this game over with in about under an hour, and he didn't do it. So that in my fault, my case, he got the award, and that's why. End of discussion.
Yes, sir. and it's the neat thing about it is this award you add to it.
Yes, you
and
put little things on it.
I think I put a broken timer on the thing.
I think you did.
Yeah.
It obviously was broken.
Yeah, it had to be broken.
It had to be. You lost track of innings in the first game, obviously.
I didn't. Ray did.
Well, you got an indicator
Ray
out there.
Benaway. Ray, phone in and straighten this out.
Okay. So, any more? There's got to be another funny story here.
Oh.
Too. I know we have plenty.
Dave, I've got real funny ones.
Okay.
Don't ever say whatever to an umpire. That's my.
Yeah, I don't like that term anyway.
I will pitch you in a game. I will pitch you from a game if you say that, because you're not being polite when you say whatever.
Yeah, that's coming back at you. Yeah.
Yeah. Ball game with Jim Teedy.
Oh,
You've worked with Jim.
I remember. I had no work with Jim.
I like Jim.
Wasn't
Teedy.
Wasn't he a cop? Wasn't he?
I don't know. I don't know whether he was or
I
wasn't.
think he was the state police.
I
think he was.
We were at CompuWare, which is where I met you. That's
Okay.
where I really
Yep.
met you, at CompuWare.
We did meet at CompuWare.
We did meet
It was
at
a big,
CompuWare.
gigantic tournament and down by Detroit, and Canton area, and wow, there was a lot of teams there.
Yeah,
It was a 4-day tournament.
yeah, it was a fun tournament.
It was
and
fun.
It's too bad they don't do it anymore.
Grueling, but yeah.
Yeah, Teedy was the plate umpire. I was the base umpire. 18-year-old girls. They were all going to play D1 ball. I had a runner on third and a runner on first. I'm the base umpire, so I was between shortstop and third base. As soon as the pitcher let go of that ball, both runners got to jump off the base.
Mhm.
Catcher got the ball, threw it right back to third base to try to get the runner out. And then they threw the ball over to first base. Girl got a little bit more of a jump. And to this day, I can still see her right hand getting in on the bag as the swipe comes through. And I came up with a very demonstrative safe call.
Because there's only two of you out there.
Yeah. And this little coach from Ohio Magic.
Well, you got a good memory.
Yeah. Oh, well, this is one of my fun ones.
Particularly, yeah.
He comes toddling out to me and he says, "Hey, Blue," he says, and he really nice guy, super nice guy. And he says, "Hey, could you check with your partner on that?" I'm like, "Coach, I got every bit of it. I saw every bit of the play." He was concerned about the play at first.
Sure.
He said, "Well, you're a pretty good distance away." And I said, "You're right, Coach. I was, better than probably 90 feet away." And I said, "No, Coach, I promise you, I saw every bit of the play." And he said, "Well, there was a lot of dirt." And I said, "Coach, again, you're correct." I said, "But no, Coach, I got it." He said, "Your partner had a better view." And I said, "Coach, you're batting 1,000." I said, "You're right. He I had a good view of it. But Coach, if I go up and talk to him, he's going to agree with me. I'm 100% on that call." Which, by the way, later I did talk to Jim Teedy, and he was 100%.
Well, that's good. I thought maybe you went to him.
No, I didn't go to him. No, I was 100% on it.
Now,
so as the coach turns away from me, he turned his head over his shoulder. He said, "You sure you won't go to your partner?" I said, "No, I won't." Well, this spectator didn't like that I wasn't going to go to my partner, and she said a very dirty word. And I looked at Jim and I said, "Hey, Jim, hang on a second." And I went over and I said, "Ma'am, if you use that language again, I'm going to eject you from the ball game."
And by the way, we were given strict instructions by our UIC, which was Jack Sauter at the time, who will not put up with any foul language from the coaches and the spectators. Am I right?
Yeah. So I went over to her and I said, "Ma'am," I said, "if you use that language again, I'm going to eject you." And she said, "Whatever." Well, we all know what whatever means. It's just like living down south, and they say,
"Yeah, I dare you."
They say, "Bless your heart."
Yeah.
So I said, "Ma'am, you got to go." And she said, "That ain't going to happen." And I said, "Watch this." Coach comes out of the dugout and he said, "What'd she say?" And I said, "She said whatever." And he looked at me and I said, "Coach, you know what that means?" And I said, "Now you've got 60 seconds to get rid of her or I'm getting rid of you." And then I turned around and walked up to Jim. In my head, I'm hearing from the movie The Wizard of Oz, the dun 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 dun,
Yeah.
as she's shuffling off down to the tournament director's tent.
Oh, that's going to work real well.
Well, it didn't, because they sent her over to the umpire's tent.
Well, that's what I mean.
And the epilogue to the story is the CompuWare tournament director came out. They were playing CompuWare.
And that was, I can't remember his name, but he was a Native American.
Tall guy, yeah.
Yeah.
He came out and was talking to the U18 coach, and he says, "What can you tell me about what happened?" He said, "That woman should have been gone long before he got to her." Yeah, so it's that was one of my favorite. That was
well, just for whatever derogatory, vulgar word she used is enough.
But I don't like ejecting people.
No,
Absolutely
I don't either.
I'd rather keep them in the game. But
Sure.
if you're going to be a horses behind. I had a spectator chewing on me from the end of the first base dugout on a ball field. And of course, he could see the strike zone better than I could.
Of course.
When I'm sitting on top of it. And in between innings, I forgot what was going on, but there was a big in between innings. So I walked down to him and I said, "How you doing?" And he said, "Oh, I'm doing good, good." And I said, "Hey, from where you're parked, can you watch the rest of this ball game?" And he got the idea. Shut up or you're going to go out to your car. So
that's a good one. I like that one.
There's polite ways to handle things. And
the old saying goes, there's two places you can watch this ball game. One of them isn't here.
Yeah, but there's softball's just been a lot of fun. And slow pitch was a lot of fun too. You get a player that's upset and you explain the rule to them. And you even got on me one time. Well, you didn't get on me. We were at
was it CompuWare?
No, it was.
You said you met me there.
JO, no, it was JO tournament.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, JO tournament. I forget what field we were on, but there was a runner on first, and ball was hit to the second baseman. But the runner was even with the second baseman when they got the ball and they turned, and the runner was already running outside.
Sure.
And made it safely to second. And Coach Time, he comes out and he's like, "Oh, she ran outside the line." And I said, "Coach, that doesn't come into effect until a play's being made on the runner."
Yep.
So I said, at that moment in time when they're making that play, now they get 3 feet on either side of their base path. And when we were done, the guy slapped me on the shoulder, turned around, and ran off. And you were like, you came up to me afterwards, and you were like, that guy was on your hind side. And the next thing I know, he's slapping you on the shoulder, laughing and running off. Says, what happened? And I explained the rule, and you were like, yeah, you're correct.
Yeah.
So,
and and again, he's correct about making a play on a runner, but in order to avoid a throw, they have to get out of the way.
Yeah.
So if they have to get 6 feet out of the way, they can go 6 feet out of the way, because that's not making a play on them. They got to get away from the throw. Now they've established their own base path, and so now it's directly to the next base. So
at the point that a play is made on them,
yep,
wherever they're at, now they get 3 feet on either side of that.
Yeah, when they're making a play on them.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. And newer umpires, if you're watching, remember this. We did talk about this a couple sessions ago, but it's always a good reminder. So, yep. So, yeah. Anything at the JO tournament besides that one happened that was funny? Besides
nothing I want to say.
Our afterwards, yeah, we had a lot of fun afterwards. Believe me.
Yeah.
We used to go to B-dubs and had some lemonades. And
yes, men's tournaments. We'd
yep.
What was, I can't think of the name of that one place we went to one night. Of course, we're getting off the ball field 11:30, 12 o'clock at night.
It's late.
And Applebee's is typically open late.
The only one it is open late.
So we're always, we're all piling in somewhere and telling stories about what happened. Of course, somebody's got to be up at 7, or got to be up at 6 o'clock to be on the ball field at 7 o'clock the next morning. But for whatever reason, we're always able to make it late night, early morning.
Yeah.
Especially when you guys give us last game, first game. And too bad Bob Schuler's not around, because he would tell you it was a conspiracy that always happened.
Well, it did happen to him, but that was for a reason. If you're listening, Bob, no, it really
give us a call, Bob.
No, it really wasn't Bob. But
if Bob's watching, he's going, that's a conspiracy.
So, we could go on and on with funny stories, because we've got tons of them, believe me. And I'm sure coaches do too. And I bet you they have it the other way around when it comes to having a discussion with umpires. When I think about it, as many times we talk about the funny things we do with coaches, I'll bet they've got some funny ones to tell about us. So, those boys in blue, as they say. So it's not surprising. So, and it's the game. It's the game. And you know what? Usually the next day is a brand new day.
Oh, yeah.
And you're supposed to forget everything that may have happened the day before. And you should. Okay. It's a brand new day. And we'll say it's a loser bracket game, and they've made it through that game. Chances are you're going to have that team again if you're on the same diamond, because it's a good chance that they're coming back. And so you may have that team again. And, you got to forget it.
Yep.
Maybe they didn't, but you should. Okay. So
I had a baseball coach barking at me one time. Wouldn't let up. He's in the dugout barking at me.
Yeah.
And I called Tom and I said, Coach, I need to see you in your lineup card. So I walked down the foul line, pulled my lineup card out, and he comes walking out. He's got the lineup card. And he said, what do you got? And I said, Coach, do you have an assistant? He said, yeah. And I said, get him warmed up. Closed my lineup card and turned and walked away. So
that's a good one.
Yeah.
That was a good one. See, now if I was still doing this game, I would have to remember that one.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites, Dave. Yeah.
I'll never forget, and I'll mention I won't mention his name, but everybody knows he used to be a judge. Okay, so, and tall. And he was doing a JO game. And
wasn't he a doctor?
Yeah, he's kind of like a doctor. So the third base coach was giving him all kinds of grief. And after he warned him about arguing balls and strikes, which didn't end, he finally walked down to the first base coach, and he said to the first base coach, you've now got a new assignment. You are now the head coach, and your first duty is to get rid of him.
Oh, I love that one.
And when that coach heard that, he went ballistic. You don't have the guts, you don't have the whatever to eject me. You had to go through my coach, and it was, and this umpire just ignored him, and the umpire in chief had to take care of the problem, because we were all sitting there. So I wasn't the umpire in chief that time, but I know who was. So
So I got a question for you.
sure.
Since we're on state staff, and whenever you had a new umpire or somebody that was just learning, what would you tell them the main things that they need to be concerned with, that they need to learn and know the most of before they go out? And I'll tell you what I would tell my people if I was training somebody: learn interference, learn obstruction, learn those two things, know them inside and out, because that's probably the as a base umpire, that's probably one of the most important things you need to know. What would you?
The things I would tell a newer umpire is get your nose in the book. You're not going to learn everything, but get your nose in the book and learn some of the very important rules. One of them, like Mike said, instruction and interference. The second thing I would say is, if you're going to explain a rule, explain it with as few words as possible and use the rule book. You'll get yourself out of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
The more words you use, the more stuff you want to say, the deeper the hole gets, and you're not going to be able to dig your way out. So those two things I would always say to a newer umpire. And then the third thing I would say is make yourself look sharp with your uniform, and then you'll look the part.
I did have one that somebody asked me about the other day, and this was junior college ball. We were down at Lakeshore, and runner hit the ball and an overthrow past first base, and the girl turned and, to me, made an attempt for second base.
Sure.
And she ended up getting tagged out. And I mean, I called her out. They tagged her. I called her out. And the coach came up to me. And this is where, knowing the wording, coach came up to me and I said, she fainted toward first base or toward second base. It's FEINTED,
Yeah,
fainted.
yeah.
And that's the actual wording in
Sure.
the rule book.
Yep.
I said, she fainted towards second base. She made an attempt towards second base. She did this or whatever.
Right.
She made some movement that told me she's seriously considering second, and then gave up on it, turned around and walked and came back to first. They tagged her and I had her out. And coach had never heard that. She's really nice. I forget what coach she is. Really nice coach. And came up the next day, and I happened to have the rule book with me before they got started, and I pulled it out to show her that I wasn't just making up some rule. And she was like, she appreciated the fact that I followed up on the rule and let her know what exactly it was.
Sure.
So use the proper words.
Use the proper words. Learn. There was one thing I learned. One definition I learned. And by the way, a definition is part of the rule book, and it's good to know some definitions. And I always used to have coaches when I did the JO tournament for 11 years, and I always had at least a spectator or a father or a coach walk up to me and say, watch her out there. And he's talking about the pitcher, and I would say, watch what? He says, she's crow hopping. I loved it. I used to just almost smile from ear to ear, because then I would say, she's crow hopping. He'd say, yes, you can't see that. I goes, well, what's your definition of a crow hop? Boy, if you got him then.
Yeah, nobody ever knew.
Boy, if you got him then. And I can still, to this day, I can almost do it verbatim. The definition of a crow hop is when you step off, leap, jump, or push off from the pitcher's plate with your hands separated, with your hands together, and you land and push off from another impetus.
Yep.
And deliver the pitch. That is a true crow hop. I have yet to this day see a high school pitcher or a JO girl ever perform a true crow hop. And when I said that one to him, he looked at me like I was nuts.
And impetus is that key word.
Yeah, impetus. Because there's a good word for them, because they don't want an impetus. Believe me. That's a second landing spot. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, but that's the key thing for them.
Yeah.
And you're right. Nobody knew what a crow hop was.
No.
Have you
But
seen?
they always, and they're still doing it. You watch it today on your Facebook pages and your YouTube, and you'll hear people put questions in the book. Is this, and I just see them at least once or twice a day in Facebook, is this pitcher legal? And they won't ask you what's illegal. They're saying, you think she's legal or illegal? And then you watch her and you go, well, she's legal in my book, because
Mm-hmm.
she doesn't do anything illegal. So it's always humorous.
What's the other thing that we get all the time? Oh, we'll be calling illegal pitches.
Oh yeah.
And what do the people say? well, they didn't call it the last game.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't call it. Well, who was I wasn't your umpire in the last
Or
game.
never called in her life.
Yeah.
Or his life.
Yeah.
That's always a good one.
And you get down to the end of the season where you're getting ready to go into tournament. It's like, well, nobody ever calls that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't your umpire before. Now you get me. Now you know that it's illegal.
There's a lot to being an umpire than you can imagine, but don't want to scare off anybody who wants to be an umpire. So by all means, if you're thinking about it, you can make some nice little mad money, as I call it. You're not going to make a living off of it, but you can make some nice little mad money, especially if you want to work 6-7 days a week. It's available, believe me, especially when it comes to J-Ho ball and slow pitch and other avenues. So it's available to you.
What do they get paid in high school up here now?
Not as much as you probably. We get paid.
I get $60 for a JV game.
Okay.
I get $75 for a varsity game, but they give us $15 for mileage.
Okay,
so I get $150.
Okay, we get. I do believe they're getting $80 a game.
So
don't quote me on this.
$150 to $160 for about 4 hours worth of work.
Yeah, don't quote me on this.
Yeah,
so, that's about the going rate.
So think about the $12 or $15.
In New York, out east, you can almost double that.
Yeah,
and I'm being serious. Yeah.
Well, if you're making 12 hours at or $12 an hour at McDonald's, yeah, you punch out 4 hours, you made 100. You made 10 hours worth of money.
Yep.
Umpiring ball.
Absolutely, it's a great thing to get into. It really is. I'm sure Mike can tell you he's never had so much fun in his life being an umpire. I mean, sure, it's hard at times and it can be frustrating, and there's a lot of other things. But you know what? It's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
And as I always used to say to some of my clinics, and I do mention this sometimes. Maybe Mike's never heard me say it, but we're not only an ambassador to the game out there, but we're also a psychiatrist in a way. You know why? Because let's say we're doing a men's game, okay? And we'll just say it's slow pitch. And there's usually about 12 men on each field, on each game, each team, okay? So you're dealing with 24 personalities. 24 personalities, men, okay? We don't know what they went through at work, at home, with their children, with their wives, with whatever they did, maybe out in the garage, whatever may have set them off for the day. You just don't know. So remember that. Take that into consideration the next time somebody goes off to you who you've never really seen go off on you before. Perhaps there's a reason. And you know what? Cut them a little bit more slack. Just give them a little bit more rope. Okay? Maybe you can reel them in, but if you can't, so be it. But just remember that.
I've got one more good story.
Sure.
I was doing men's ball. I can't think of the name of the team out of Benton Harbor. Men's fast pitch ball. Had a lot of fun with them. And this one batter would get up, and he looked like the Charlie Sheen.
The Major League.
Yeah, Major League.
Yeah.
The guy that would spit across the plate.
Yeah.
Big burly guy. And I mean, he just gets up there and pitch would come in. I'd call it a strike, and he'd turn around and scowl at me. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to call that all day. And then another inning, and a pitch would come in maybe on the outside, and I'd call a strike on it. He'd scowl at me again. And it very intimidating. And I think we got our red coats. And he got up the next morning. I had them again the next morning, and pitch comes in, bounces in front of the plate, and he swings at it like he's going yard, and spins himself out of the box. And his buddies are laughing at him. I pulled my mask off, and I'm like, "Really, really? You had two beautiful pitches that you let go, and then you swing at crap like that." So we get done with the ball game. And I'm getting my shoes ready for the next time I come on. And he came over. He was over in his car, and we got to talking across the way, and then he came over, and we got to talking about things, and come to find out now this big burly guy, he said that I asked, I'd like to know what people do, and he said that he puts in during the summertime, he puts down hardwood floor. That's really what he do the rest of the year. He said, I go to school down in Texas. I knew immediately what he was talking about. He goes to Bible school to be a preacher.
Wow.
And we got to talking about church and stuff like that. And he said, "Do you go?" And I said, "I'm a bedroom Baptist. The Reverend Sheets presiding." That was always the joke, the Reverend Sheets.
Yeah.
And we get done, and I said, "Mike Baker," and he said, "Craig Sheets," and I'm like, baloney. And I still had their lineup, and I've got it in my lineup.
You saved it forever, huh?
Yep. Craig Sheets is his name. So now whenever I say bedroom Baptist, it's always the Reverend Craig Sheets
Reverend
presiding.
Craig. There you go.
So Craig, if you're watching, I'm not sure whether you are or not, you'll always be remembered. I wish I could remember the name. They were a fun bunch of guys, and they're not going to be at this tournament.
That's too bad, because that is hilarious. It really is.
Yeah.
Now, in finality here, you got any goals you haven't met yet when it comes to softball?
I attained one last year. I got elite. I got.
Oh, that's good. Yes,
I got elite. I did like 3 or 4 men's open tournaments.
Yep.
And way back when, all you had to do was have 2 men's open tournaments and you could apply.
Right.
And then they changed it to you have to have an open and then a men's major.
Right.
And so my goal was to get to the men's major tournament. And there's always
That's
help.
good.
There's always help, and I got to the men's major tournament, and I had a successful tournament. Recommended for men's major ball in my evaluation, and recommended for future games men's major, and I applied for it and received USA Elite.
Well, very good. Congratulations.
Well, you're an elite umpire also.
Yes.
Aren't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
fortunate, and I feel very good about it.
And because I've got that elite moniker, that it makes me work that much harder.
Oh yeah, because
to be that elite umpire.
Because they're looking at people that are elite umpires. They just do, you know.
Well, it's just like Michigan umpires. Yeah. Whenever we go off to tournaments, some out of state tournaments,
everybody, well known.
Yeah, everybody's comparing themselves. They're looking at, when we walk in, they see who the Sunday umpires are going to be. No.
It's funny, but it's usually 99% true.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike, by the way, was being humble because he didn't mention it until real late that he has done men's major fast pitch national tournaments. So we're not just talking about the lower levels; he's the top echelon. So
even with having 3-hour games,
yeah. But maybe that's why Ray. Did Ray ever have one? I'm not sure.
No, Ray hasn't.
So maybe it's Ray.
Well, there's your common denominator.
No, I'm just teasing you, Ray, because Ray is a great umpire too.
I'm not Ray.
Yeah, he's not Ray. So anyway, Mike, we're gonna cut this short because my hour is almost up, and I just want to sign off by saying it's good to see Mike up here for this weekend. We always have a good time together, and if you got a chance to go out to Frankenmuth and cross the river and take in some games, please do. And
behind the Bavarian Inn.
Right behind the Bavarian Inn. Yep. Let your kids go to the water park and you can watch the games. So you can't beat Frankenmuth, especially. I know I'm going to sound a little misogynistic, but especially if you're a woman, you will especially love Frankenmuth. As a guy, I've lived here all my life. I've seen enough Frankenmuth to make me speak Ein Deutsch. Okay?
And if you're going to heckle umpires, just make sure you're parked where you can watch the rest of the game.
But by all means, and as I can't say enough, when you go, be respectful. Be respectful to everybody there. Umpires, coaches, players, and anybody else who's sitting around you. Okay? So you have yourself a great day, and think softball. There we go.
Very cool. That went great. That hour just blew past.
Blew by, didn't it? Yep, it does. Usually when I don't interview somebody, it's usually only like a half an hour long, unless I have some videos to show and some other things. But this is kind of like the dead time of year.